A car has an area of 355 inches squared. How many millimeters squared is this? So let's start this process with what I know. I know that 355 inches squared is where I'm going to start. So 355 inches squared, and that's just over 1. Now the next conversion is I got to go to millimeters, so I got to use my conversion factor between the U.S. customary system and metric. That's 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. But the units don't match, so look at this. So that's 1 inch, so there's an inch on the bottom, divided by 2.54 centimeters. But the units don't match. So to make them match, I need to square all the units in that fraction. So inches, to make it match, it has to be squared, centimeters squared, and 2.54 has to be squared. Okay, so let's continue on. I've got centimeters squared, now I've got to get to millimeters squared, and I know there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter. It's not on my list on the right, but I know that for a fact. That's 10 millimeters equals a centimeter. So again, centimeter on the bottom, so centimeters on top, centimeters on the bottom. Now in the top part of my fraction, I've got to put my millimeters, so I know there's 10 millimeters. Again, my units don't match, but if I square everything in that new fraction, it'll work. So centimeter squared, millimeter squared, and the number, it's everything in that fraction. Okay, so how does my calculator work? Well, in my calculator, what I'm going to do is I don't have anything in the denominator because it's 1 times 1 times 1, so I just got to figure out what's in the numerator and multiply them all together. So on my calculator screen, it's actually going to look something like this. 355 times 2.54 squared times 10 squared. And then I'll just press the execute key or the enter key. And when I do that, I get 229,000 millimeters squared. And that's with 3 sig figs. It's actually 229,031.8 millimeters squared, but with 3 sig figs, that's what it's going to look like.